game is about to begin.
Hey, what's up, YouTube Metaverse? This is your boy, Meta Bro Jay, and you already know, baby, I'm representing the Super Meta Bros. And today we are back with yet another insane deck profile, baby. And this one actually topped a recent tournament that the Meta Bros had over the weekend. We had some key players in the building, you guys. It was 8 people playing, and you already know your boy Meta Bro Jay took the dub. So this is the deck profile right here. We are gonna be profiling Ogdoadic Invoked with Dragoon, baby. This is the main deck right here. You guys definitely gotta check this one out. Before we get into the deck profile though, you guys be sure to hit the thumbs up button, man. Get us on the screen. Be sure to subscribe to the Super Meta channel. You guys already know, gotta stay current with Super Meta times. And while you're at it, baby, beat down that notification bell, baby, like always, because you already know Meta Bro Jake is right here delivering the hot content. Straight Yu-Gi-Oh fire, baby, right here. Now let's go, dude. Let's get into this crazy deck profile. Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. This is the Ogdoadic Invoked with Dragoon deck profile. Let's get into it, baby. We're gonna start off with the monsters like always. Boom. Move the field center. Here we go. You guys check out this awesome mat. Here we go. Definitely gotta start it off, you guys. The 5 boss monsters that you run in the deck. But the first 2 we're gonna go into is Ogdoadic Dark and Ogdoadic Light. Now, these cards right here are very good. Ogdoadic Light is, if it's in the graveyard, you contribute one monster on the field, and it special summons itself from the graveyard, and then it has the effect when special summoned, you could special summon a level 4 or lower Ogdoadic monster from the graveyard to the field. So it's your 1 for 2, very nice. And then the Ogdoadic Dark, when he's in the graveyard, same thing, they could just tribute 1 monster to special summon themselves from the graveyard, but he has the effect that lets you return up to 2 monsters, but at least 1 reptile monster from the banish zone back into the graveyard, which is a really good utility effect. It just recycles your monsters. So the 1 and 1. The next of the boss monsters we're going into are the King and the Queen. Now these 4 right here actually work hand in hand, you guys. These are the tandem ones right here. The Ogdoadic Queen and Ogdoadic Light work together, and Ogdoadic Dark and Ogdoadic King work together, okay? I know that was a little bit of a tongue twister, you guys, but okay. The Queen, when she's on the field, if this card is in your graveyard, you could tribute 2 monsters, okay? Now, Queen and King have the same effect. It's 2 monsters that you have to tribute from the graveyard, but starting with the Queen, if a monster special summoned from your opponent's graveyard, you can send 1 card they control to the graveyard. It's an untargeting send. So that's what it works good with Light, because Light lets you special summon. It special summons itself. It lets your opponent special summon 1 from their graveyard, and its effects are negated. Then you can special summon the level 4 lower Ogdoadic monster from your graveyard. So if the Queen's already on the field, then you gotta just pop 1 thing on the field easy, or send it to the graveyard. And then same thing with Dark and King. King's effect is, if this card is in your graveyard, you tribute 2 monsters, special summon this card. If your opponent adds cards from their hand, you can send 1 random card from their hand to the graveyard. So very nice. And Ogdoadic Dark's effect is, if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 monster, special summon this card, then your opponent can add 1 monster from their graveyard to their hand. If this card is special summoned, you can target up to 2 banished monsters, including a reptile monster, return them to the graveyard. So it just has that hand, it lets them add to the hand, but then this one lets you pitch from the hand, so they work together, you guys. I know that was kind of a long little explanation, but definitely needs to be said, because I've never heard of a deck profile yet that they actually talked about that. So definitely got to pair them up. So that's 4 of the boss monsters, and we're going to get into the last one. We got to run the 1 of the Ogdoadic Overlord. Now this card is, they all have the same effect where they tribute from the graveyard. This one, you got to tribute 3 monsters, but the way you bring them out is with the spell card. Once you have the proper reptiles in the graveyard, you activate the spell card and you can special summon this guy right here directly from the grave. And now this card's effect right here is, it's a quick effect. Once while he's face up on the field, you could send all monsters on the field, that's including your opponent's side, to the graveyard. except the ones that were special summoned from the graveyard. So, man, it pretty much, it's Ogdoadic protection, and it just sends everything to the grave. You guys, very good effect. So you gotta run them at 1. I know a lot of deck profiles do not run this card at all, but I prefer to run it at 1 just because it has that good effect, and it's a quick effect you could use on your opponent's turn, and it has a whopping 3100 attack. Very good. Overlord. There's your 5 right there. You got to run 1 of each. Okay, now we're going to get into the level 4 Ogdoadic monsters. I'm running the 1 Zoha. This card's good. It's just good utility. It kind of rarely comes up. He's just the added Ogdoadic name, level 4, you know, that you could special summon. But his effect reads, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard or special summoned from the graveyard, you could activate this effect. Your opponent draws 1 card, and if they do, you add 1 Ogdoadic monster from your deck to your hand, except Zoha. Then each player sends 1 card from their hand to the graveyard. Okay, and then its second effect is, if this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add this card to your hand. So, just utility, you guys. Just keep getting them from the graveyard to the hand if you need them. Level 4. You need them to go into plays if they stop your other monsters, and we'll get into that. He's a good level 4 at 1. And then we're running the 3 ofs, the level 4s. We run the 3 dark and the 3 light. This is what I call them, you guys. It's just easier. You got the light remnant and you got the dark remnant, I guess, okay? The one you definitely want to open up is more the light. The light's the number 1 card you want to open up with, but dark ain't that bad either. But you want to add, as the combo goes, you want to add the dark from deck to hand. But anyways, these guys have the same kind of effect. You could activate the effect from the hand, you pitch it to the graveyard, and then you send the opposite, light or dark, from deck to graveyard. So the light obviously sends the dark from deck to graveyard, and then the dark sends the light from deck to graveyard. And then their secondary effect is what makes them a little bit different. The light, if it's in the graveyard, you either control no monsters or you control an Ogdoadic monster. This card can special summon itself from the graveyard. So it's a free special summon. Very nice, level 4. And then the dark secondary effect is if it's special summoned from the graveyard, you could add 1 Ogdoadic spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Very, very good. The only thing I wanted to talk about as far as the other effects is on the light. If the light is face up on the field, you cannot special summon any monsters. Also, you cannot special summon monsters except reptile monsters while this card is face up in the monster zone. So this is one of those cards you definitely want to get off with like a link, or you want to go for an overlay with this card, because you do not want to keep him on the field. It'll keep you from going into your full combo. So just keep that in mind. It's good to special summon him, but then you have to like link him off, or you got to do something with him. You can't leave him on the board. So definitely 3 and 3. These are your openers right here. Maxed out. Okay, now going into the Invoked. You already know you got to run the 3. Aleirtt the Invoker. This card is just way too lit. There's really no need for explanation on this card, man. You want to get to that invocation. You want that Aleirtt, you want to get that invocation. Easy money. And then going into the hand traps, I run the 3, Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. I mean, who ain't running this in their main deck, right? But this is the most universal hand trap. You definitely got to run it. Also, this is a preference that I'm running, a little tech choice. I'm running the 2 Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. Nowadays, Dragoon is a real thing. Zeus is a real thing. You gotta, if there was any card, 1 card that could out those cards, this is it right here. Definitely gotta run it at 2. This is just my personal option. You could side it out if it ain't too good, but it actually works really well, especially in that tournament that we played over the weekend. So Gamma Seal at 2 was very clutch. And then my last 2 monsters, obviously, you got to go into the Dragoon package. You got to have the vanillas. It sucks to draw these, you guys, but you want to keep them in your hand as long as you absolutely can. And if you definitely have to pitch something off to get your combo going, pitch it off, man. It is what it is, but you got to run the 1-in-1, man. Dragoon's a real thing. Very good monster. All right, so that's a total of 22 monsters. Now, let's go into the spells. All right, starting off with the spells, you got to run the 3 Ogdoadic Water Lily. This card is just way too broken, man, and I'm kind of sad that it's just a super rare printing. But this card right here. You send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then if you have 5 or more reptile monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can special summon any one reptile monster from your graveyard. This card right here is straight broken, you guys. Easy, easy. Like with the light and the dark remnants, you're just sending reptiles from deck to graveyard. It's easy to fill the graveyard with reptiles. And then this card just lets you dump one and then special summon one. So this is how you get the Overlord on the field. This is the easiest way to get Overlord on the field. Very good card. Ogdoadic Water Lily, definitely at 3. Staple in this deck. Also another staple, and it's glad to see this card actually being used, is Snake Rain. Now, when I found out Ogdoadics were coming to the TCG, I already automatically knew Snake Rain was going to be a real thing. And this card right here, you guys, is straight broken. I apologize for not having the collector rares. I only have one at the moment of recording. But this card is just way, way too good. If you resolve this card right here, most of the time, you're going to go full combo. But this card is simple. Discard 1 card and send 4 reptile monsters from your deck to the graveyard. This just thins out your deck 1,000 folds. You want to send as many boss monsters as you can from your deck to the grave, but you know, you also want to go into your combo pieces as well. So you send whatever you have to send to get your combo going right here with Snake Rain. Very good card, definitely at 3. Okay, now going into the invoke stuff again. We got the 3 meltdowns and the 1 terraforming, because you definitely want to see Aleister, man. You need Aleister in the opening hand to go into the combo. So 3 magical meltdowns, you want to search for the Aleister, 1 terraforming, got to get to the meltdown. Okay, and then we run the 2 invocation. You don't want to max out on invocation in this deck, in this build right here. The 2 invocations is perfect. You know, if you absolutely have to, you could go into 2 invoked fusion monsters if you absolutely have to, but you really don't need to. It's usually 1 invoked fusion spell or fusion monster at a time. Invocation, definitely good card. Also another 2 of, I'm going into the 2 Forbidden Droplet. This card right here is very good in this deck because it lets you pitch 1. Most of the time it's going to be a monster card anyway, and you just pitch the Ogdoadic boss monsters, get them out of your hand, and then you get a negate and cut in half. One of the monsters attacks, shut them down. This card right here usually steals games, but Forbidden Droplet is very good. I only have it at 2 because you don't really want to see it. You want to see it in your opening hand, but you kind of don't at the same time. I think 2 is the perfect number for this. You just don't want to see too many of them, I guess, in your first draw. So Forbidden Droplet at 2. A 3 of I'm running is Lightning Storm. You definitely got to run the Lightning Storm. As you guys notice now, with this card being in the deck, this is more of a going second build for the Ogdoadics, but it could still combo off going first. You know, the deck's pretty deadly going first or second, and Lightning Storm's just a good addition. You guys gotta blow up the field, blow up the back row, or at least this is a good bait for one of the negates your opponent might have. So Lightning Storm at 3 is a must. I run the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Just like Lightning Storm, you got to get rid of the back row. This right here is just too free. And you know, a lot of decks nowadays running around in the meta or even the rogue strategies going on, they run a lot of back row. Harpy's just takes care of that. RIP Mystic Mine. Couple 1-ofs. I got the 1 Monster Reborn. Just let you special summon any Ogdoadic or any monster, any fusion monster back you need from the grave, especially like a Macabre. Run the 1 Called by the Grave, because you definitely want to stop any hand traps that are going to try to stop you. And Called by the Grave definitely comes in clutch. I wish it was at 3. And the 1 Red Eyes Fusion to go into your Dragoon. So that wraps up the spells. That's 21 spells. Total deck, main deck is 43 cards. Now we're going to go into the extra deck. All right, starting things off with the extra deck, we got to go with the 2 King of the Feral Imps. This is your combo starter right here. This lets you add a reptile from deck to hand by pitching 1 material. Very good card. King of the Pharaoh Imps. Got to run him at 2 because sometimes your opponent stops the first one. So you got to go into the second one. I run the 1 Rika Queen Strina and the 1 Sacred Tree Beast Hyperton. These are for the combo. We'll go over that in the combo section of this video. I'll explain these two a little bit more then. But Rika Queen, if she's tributed with material, you get a special summon a rank 5 or higher plant XYZ monster from the extra deck, and you could attach her as material to the monster. So that's what this is for. But I'll go over this a little bit more in the combo. Very good cards. Couple rank 8s. I run the 1 number 38 and the 1 Dingirsu. The number 38 just a negate for a spell, and then the Dingirsu is the untargetable send for your rank 8. Some of your boss monsters are level 8, so go into these. And I also run the 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, just in case you got to attack with one of these XYZ bad boys, and you got overlay into the Zeus. Very good. Okay, now going into the links. Got the 1 Predaplant Vertanaconda, definitely needed for Dragoon. You got the 1 Cross Sheet for the combo. You're always going to special summon a fusion monster to zone the arrow points to, so you can get the free special summon. Run the 1 Artemis for Alistair if you need that light. And lastly, I run the 1 Apollosa. Now this card is just if you need some big body on board with some negates. Just, you know, Appaloosa does her thing. Stops monster effects. That's what you need. Okay, lastly, we got 4 more fusions. We're running the 2 Macabas. Definitely got to run Macaba. The best invoked fusion monster, I would say, hands down. It lets you negate a spell, trap, or spell by, a spell, trap, or monster effect by pitching the same type of material. But not only does it negate the activation, but it banishes the card. And that's very important. A lot of those decks nowadays, they could survive with their monsters hitting the graveyard because they have secondary effects in the graveyard. But this card right here just banishes them, gets them out of there. So this is definitely at 2. And then for the last invoked monster, I run the 1 Ogdoadic. Now, I opted to go this over the Purgatrio because Purgatrio is a very good card. Do not get me wrong. It will beat over a board. But after that, it doesn't really do too much. So Ogdoadic is good because it lets you pop on summon, and then once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster, it could pop a monster on the field. So it just keeps your opponent on their toes, and then it has a secondary effect where it could banish a fusion from the graveyard, and it boosts its attack by as much attack as the banished monster. So the Ogdoadic will straight put in some work if you need them to. So those are the 3. And obviously, I had to save the best for last. Last fusion, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Enough said. This card right here will just break any board if you let it. You do not want the Predaplant Vertanaconda to go off. You don't want that Red Eyes fusion to go off. If Dragoon hits the field in this deck, it's pretty much GG. So that wraps up the extra deck, you guys. A strong 15. Now we're gonna go into the side deck. Okay, now going into the side deck, you guys, here we go. Before I get into it, disclaimer, like always, you guys, it's just a template for what I use. This is what I used in the tournament. This is the exact same side deck list that I used. But it is a personal choice because I know who I was playing against. We know who we're playing against at our locals if we're constantly going. And we base our side deck off of who we're playing against, you guys. So keep that in mind. Let this be a template for anybody at home that's watching this video. This is what your boy, Meta Bro Jake, is playing. So here we go. We're going to start things off with the spells. I only run 1 spell on my side. That's the 3rd Forbidden Droplet. You know, if you need some more stopping power, this card's also good going first. You could also set it to the field. And then when your opponent goes, you know, you have other negates, you stop them. And once your stuff's depleted, you always have the Forbidden Droplet to bounce back on if you have to negate another monster effect. So this is the 3rd droplet. Then I run the 2 DD Crows going into the monsters now. DD Crow just goes hand in hand with Called by the Grave. These are pretty much the other 2. Called by the Grave's pretty much the other DD Crow. But they're all banishing from the graveyard, and you need those effects nowadays. there's too many decks that have monsters that have secondary effects in the graveyard. You just got to get rid of those. So the 2 DD Crows mandatory. I'm running the 3 Nibiru. Now there's been a lot of talk going on that Nibiru's being outcasted from the meta, but this card right here will just break any combo deck when used correctly. So Nibiru definitely at 3, man. It hurts. And then we're gonna run the 3 Jolt and Lockbird. This card is just too broken too. It stops a lot of those combo builds. That's what you need, man. A lot of these decks could just sound off. Joel and Lockbird, it'll let them get 1 search, but after that, end turn. Okay, and then going into the traps, we got 6 of them. We got the 3 Solemn Judgment. This card just says no. You pay half your life points, yes, but it never kills you. So Solemn Judgment at 3. This card's just way too good. Just another negate. That's what you need for this. More negates. And then, this is another special little spicy tech that I was running over the weekend. I run the 1 Quaking Mirror Force, and I run the 2 Drowning Mirror Forces. This is my little Mirror Force package. Quaking Mirror Force. All the Mirror Forces are the same, first of all, if they're your opponent's monsters declare an attack. So, this one right here lets you flip all attacking monsters face down, and they cannot change their battle position. So this straight locks them from their monster zone as well, you guys, because you cannot link. You can only tribute with face down monsters, but they can't link off. And that's usually what your opponent's going to do with all those bodies on the field, is try to link off into something. So before they can actually link off, you hit them with, hopefully, you hit them with Quaking Mirror Force, because obviously this won't do nothing to the link monsters. It cannot flip link monsters down. That's why I run this at 1. But when you can hit your opponent with this card, it definitely hurts. And the 2 Drowning Mirror Forces, this is for the link monsters or anything that can't be flipped face down. This card just bounces everything back into the deck. So, too good, you guys. If your opponent can't stop this, it just, man, breaks their board and ends their career. That's pretty much what it is. These cards actually worked out really well for me, man, and they came in clutch when I needed them too. So the Mirror Forces were definitely the MVP of the side this game around. So there it is, you guys. That was the side. And that was my deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, my dudes. Now here it is. Here's the combo section of this video. Now, for the sake of this combo, you guys, we're just gonna go with the Light Remnant and Aleirtt. Now, this could be a variation of other things. This could pretty much be the field spell as well. But for the sake of the video, we're gonna go with just these 2. And these are 3 cards in your hand. You guys are gonna keep those 3 cards in your hand this whole time. This is a 2-card combo. This is how we're gonna start it off. So, first thing you would do in this situation, activate Remnant's effect, pitch, to send a dark from deck to graveyard. You'd send Ogdoadic Dark. Then you activate Remnant's effect, a secondary effect in the graveyard, special summon itself, because you control no monsters. Then you're going to go ahead and normal summon the Aleister. You're going to activate his effect. You're going to get the invocation to your hand. Then you're going to overlay the 2 into the King of the Feral Imps. You're going to activate Feral Imps' effect. You're going to pitch the Aleister to the grave. And then you're going to add the Dark Remnant from deck to hand. Then you're going to activate the Dark Remnant's effect, pitch itself, to pitch a light from deck to graveyard. You're going to go with Ogdoadic Light. Then you're going to act Ogdoadic Light's effect from the graveyard to tribute the Feral Imps, to special summon Light. You're going to activate Light's effect. Obviously, if you're going first, your opponent ain't going to be able to special summon anything from the graveyard, so this effect's still going to go off to special summon. You're going to go with the Dark Remnant, special summon. Then you're going to activate the Dark Remnant's effect, its secondary effect, 1 special summon. You could add the Water Lily from deck to hand. Okay, then you're going to link these 2. You're going to go into the Cross Sheep. Now, let's see, you have a pretty good number. That card, the Remnant, just got banished because it left the field by Light's effect. So by my count, you have 4 reptiles. different names. So you're gonna activate Water Lily. You're gonna dump another copy of the Dark Remnant. Then the secondary effect's gonna activate. Now you got 5 reptiles. So you're gonna special summon the Dark Remnant back to the field. Its effect is only once per turn, but you need it for the level 4. Okay. Then you're gonna activate Invocation. You're gonna banish the Aleister. And you're gonna banish the Ogdoadic Light. You're gonna go into Makaba. You gotta make sure you special summon Makaba to one of the arrows that Cross Sheep's pointing to. And that's gonna activate Cross Sheep's effect. Let you special summon a level 4 from the graveyard. You special summon the Light Remnant. Okay, then you're gonna overlay these two for your Rika Queen Straina. Now Straina's you're gonna activate Ogdoadic Dark's effect in the grave. I'm gonna tribute the Straina to special summon the Dark. Now you're gonna go Chain Link. You're gonna go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. This lets you add all the cards back, up to 2 cards, including a reptile. You're gonna add just the 2 Ogdoadic monsters. And then Straina's effect is gonna special summon the Tree Beast. And then it's gonna attach Rika Queen Straina as material. Just like that. Okay. And then, so these are your 3 in your hand. Then you're gonna go these 2 right here into your Vert Anaconda. You're gonna activate Anaconda's effect, dump the Red Eyes Fusion, and dump the 2 vanillas. Special summon Dragoon. Then you're gonna activate the Invocations effect, send back to the deck, and get the Aleister back to hand. Okay, and then you're gonna activate Vert Anaconda's effect, his target effect, to change it to a dark attribute. So you're gonna target the Makaba, then you're gonna change Dragoon's effect. You're gonna pitch 1 to negate and destroy this. And now he's at 4,000. And there you go, you guys, there's your board. You're gonna have 3 cards in hand, including an Aleister for your follow-up play. And you got 3 negates on board. And then also, you have a graveyard full of Ogdoadic monsters. That is definitely your follow-up play. So there it is, you guys. There's the combo. You got your 3 heavy hitters and 3 cards in hand with a 2-card combo. And this combo right here, you guys, this one wins games. All right, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed that Ogdoadic deck profile. Before I go though, I definitely got to do my shout outs. First shout out I want to do, you guys, is shout out the Super Meta Bros, my squad, my crew. They've been holding me down this whole time, and nothing but love to all the new Meta Bros and to the upcoming Meta Bros. Anybody that has love for the Meta Bros, we got nothing but love for you guys, man. Thank you guys very much. Secondly, I want to shout out Palmanga Mats. They definitely got the mats that are for the Meta Bros, or this special one right here, you guys, that you seen the deck profile on today. Be sure to check out their Facebook and their Instagram, you guys, if you want anything custom. Custom play mats, custom field centers, they got it all. You guys check them out. Also want to shout out our product sponsor, my main dudes from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market, YBM, Brother Dio, Brother Karan. You guys shout them out. You guys check out their freaking link down in the description below for all the new YGO products, you guys. They got it at the price that's for the community, you guys. Definitely got to check that out. And that about wraps it up for my shout outs, you guys. Thank you guys very much for joining us here today. But you definitely will be seeing this deck in our area a lot more and all around the meta, you guys. So be prepared. Don't say your boy didn't tell you guys anything. All right, let's go, you guys. That's it. I'm going to have to peace you guys out one time. Meta Bro Jake, baby, and I'm out. Peace out.